Two boys, one World Cup, one Joss Buttler. There's only one Joss Buttler. Welcome back to The Grey Cricketer, brought to you by ASKO, India's leading digital insurance company. My name is Ian Higgins. Sam Perry sits across from me, aghast at the hands of Joss Buttler. Morning, Pez.
Morning, Higgos.
Fucking what a dig that was. Sri Lanka won the toss, and they said, you boys have a stick on this thing in Sharjah, and England got to 163 for 4. And Sri Lanka finished 137 all out after 19 overs. Fuck, they were in the game, though. This was actually a much closer game than what those numbers might suggest in the end. It was a good game of cricket. Shall we get into it?
I'll give it to you in grade terms.
Please give it to me in grade terms.
Let's just get into the tail, boys. From Thierry Henry smile there. But I can't do it. You're right, he goes. The game was neck and neck at various stages. It was just a little bit of a lack of power and nous from the Sri Lankan tail, which we knew. They're just a bit short in that department. They engineered themselves into a decent enough situation where other tails might have been able to finish that off in those conditions. Yep. But England, as what I believe to be the best white ball team in the world, they brought their best bowling and particularly their best fielding for the end. Yeah.
It reminds me of the glory days when Australia used to be good. Like they just... Like the good teams win these games, and they're a good team. They won the game.
All right, three things here, guys. First thing, how good is Joss?
How good?
First bloke to hit a century in all three formats.
Because as
for
we
England,
know,
Heather Knight, who reminded him overnight that that was true. Yeah, welcome to the club, she said.
Oh, nice alpha move.
Really nice.
Nice alpha power play there.
And
welcome to the club.
It wasn't looking overly pretty for England at the start. 47 for 3 after 10 overs. Buttler 24 at that point.
Yep.
And then he and Morgan pretty much got to work. Morgan, who again, incredible innings for a bloke without eyes. His eyes have been removed now.
They're just wooden eyes now.
Maybe his eyes starting to come back. He's just starting to get a bit of blurred vision there.
I was blind, but now I see.
Amazing grace.
Indeed. Some religious
We've been talking
intervention.
about religion. Yeah.
So he's sold something. He's had to sell something
once
to the
was
devil.
Lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now he's found.
Now he's found. He's blind now.
Sort of got found out outside the off stump.
That's what that
that's what it means.
That hymn, those lines mean.
If you go on rapgenius.com and
that's right.
like song meaning.
Yeah. Behind the lyrics on Spotify.
That's right.
I once was lost. I was just feeling for it
just
outside.
Out of here. Just
But then I found my off stump. It's an awareness thing. Kinesthetic awareness. They went to work. He goes, I think Joss Buttler is obviously the player of the tournament so far. Rizwan wants a word, but there you go.
Have a word.
Was Buttler the difference between 130 and 160? Was England's innings kind of commensurate with the first innings of a lot of teams batting first on these kinds of wickets?
I'm really glad you've said that. I'm glad, Rap. Because after 10 overs, England were 48 for 3. That's exactly the same score as India were last night against the Kiwis, the Skeleton Hiders.
Yeah.
And Joss Buttler gets himself to 50, and he's a 50 off 45 rocks, and then his next, his next 51 came off 22 balls, so he went fucking ballistic.
Yeah.
But
didn't even feel ballistic.
Mate, you're right. You're totally right. Like 3 wickets in the power play. Roy across the line. Milan knocked through the gate. Young Johnny Burso running down the wicket and kicking him. 3 down the power play. Think got a game on here. We know the history of Sharjah as well. A tough place to.
Sharjah Demons again.
The Sharjah Demons, actually a football team who play on Wednesday nights. Six a side cop.
Yeah, 4-3-3. Sometimes a back 5.
4-3-3 and a side comp. I don't know how they keep losing games with 9 players and a 6-a-side comp. 9? That's 10. Wow, okay. Ravi Shastri and I had a drink this morning.
Glad rap.
So 6 overs to go, Pez.
Yeah.
They're on 83 for 3.
Yeah.
And Kumara's last over of his spell goes for 22. 1-6 from Morgan running down the wicket and 2 from Buttler. And now they've got momentum with 6 overs to go. Morgan's 40 off 36 is going to get lost a little bit in the context of Joss Buttler.
In the books written about this game.
That's right, and there will be books written about it. But Morgan hit 3 sixes, and something about a 6, especially in this tournament, there has been a real lack of boundaries in the tournament. Like UAE, let's call it out, fucking grim place to play cricket. It's grim. And Sharjah no more so than anywhere else. But like Butler alone in the last 10 overs, 77 runs. Flicks a lap ball innings after Chamara. Gets a nice little waist-high full toss to score his 100. Fucking... It's amazing, and it's so good to watch. I've been saying this for a couple of years now, but it's just so good. And for me, with Butler, like the hands are the main act, you know. And I'm going to cut them off. And you don't already know this about me, but there's something about and the base is everything as well. But how still his head is, it is even when he's moving around the crease and like manipulating the ball, his head is so still. It reminds me a bit like when a golfer just gets the hot hands, like everything's moving in sync. The hands are so good and moving with the body and the hips, but the head is so still. Mate, what a fucking player!
I'm amazed by the power he can generate because a lot of his approach is to get deep in his crease to open up the chest and swing through the arc. I mean, that's an oversimplification, but then he uses his wrists within that to essentially achieve 360 wherever he hits it.
Kind of hockey player, isn't it?
It is, and it's not just power from so he almost feels like his weight is back when he plays those shots, and so to achieve that power and timing in those circumstances is remarkable. The thing that I've been keen to avoid the oversimplification of like win toss win match, but this game actually, though England won despite winning the toss, this game now convinces me that there is an unfortunate like toss bias in this tournament because even England, whose philosophy is to, despite losing wickets, keep swinging, even they stopped doing that. You know, like they concluded that like 130, 140, 160 is going to have to be enough. They finished 4 wickets down. They rarely finish 4 down in a T20 game, particularly in those circumstances. They just keep going. Butler, though, was the difference, it seemed. Totally. And, you know, a mark of a good innings is your superiority relative to everybody else. He's playing a different game. You know, Morgan 40 off 36, courtesy of a few sixes at the end. Everyone else pretty much going... We'll talk about Hasaranga later, had a great innings as well, but everyone else pretty much going to run a ball, struggling to get it off the square, etc. And, as you said, brings up his ton from the last ball. And, I mean, playing a different game to everybody else.
England were the better team in this game. Their fielding was excellent.
Yeah.
Their bowling wasn't necessarily better, but one guy has won them the game, essentially. But that's what good. The thing about England is they've got like 9 excellent players who can win them a game.
Just look how helpful the toss is, though. You know, I mean, Sri Lanka got very close. Sri Lanka were quite weak when
Didn't
they played
Sri Lanka
Australia.
win the toss?
Sorry, that's what I mean. So they had the favourable conditions,
Yes,
and you've got two teams that I
yes.
think are pretty poles apart in terms of skill.
Yeah.
Getting pretty close. Off the back of that.
Sure.
You know, it's a sort of game where like if England might be the best white ball team in the world and have everything going for it, but if they lose a toss against a good side, they're behind the 8 ball. Anyway,
and that's what happens to Australia.
Exactly. Fucking behind the 8 ball. They're fucking outside the pub. They weren't even at the pool table.
Doing 8 balls.
Yeah. Second one, here goes. Jamal Mills injury and Sri Lanka get close. So I just want to talk about the second innings a little bit.
Sure.
Early run out for England. Sharp work again from those guys, Morgan and Butler. That was sharp.
Fucking dumb run out, though. I mean, has there ever been less of a run on than that? Hit it to square leg. I mean, Morgan can't see, obviously. They thought his eyes were facing the wrong way. But nice glove work from Butler there as well.
Asalanka looking bright. He's a bit of fun, isn't he, Asalanka?
Yeah, I like it.
Have a bit of fun with him?
Yeah, a bit of fun.
Yeah. He's a good schooner.
Yeah, probably.
If he has one.
Nice cup of tea. Adil Rashid bowled really nicely in the power play.
All shit about at the front of the hand.
Yeah, he had 2 for 9 of his 2. Then he should have had 3 for 11. Wokes dropped. He dropped.
Was it Asalanka, I think? Left hand? It was a left-hander.
Yeah, it might have been. Anyway, so he should have had 3 for 11. But yeah, mate, England just got it all.
They bowled Rashid at the start, I think, because they wanted to give him the best chance with the driest ball possible.
Oh, I see.
More Morgan dad shit.
Yeah, nice. He had a good game, Morgan. Captaincy-wise.
And like you could hear over the loudspeaker they're playing football's coming home as well.
Fucking duck and get in the bin.
It's a good tune. But Sri Lanka were 3 down in the power play. A better power play than England's.
Yes.
But they were still 3 down. I always felt like they were 1 more wicket down than you would have liked for them. Just ahead, Rajapaksa was good. Hasaranga ends the game with 34 off 21 and 3 for 21.
Yep.
In any other game, that's player of the match.
That is.
But not this one. Hasaranga.
So, Sri Lanka needed 35 off 20 with 5 wickets in hand. And I just want to say, like, I like that they attacked Livingston. Now, Livingston is like, he's not a part-timer. He's better than that. But you can't let Liam Livingston just bowl 4 overs. And I say that with respect to his bowling. Like, he's bowling off-spin and leg spin, obviously, in the same game, which is a great skill in itself. But, like, you can't just let him bowl.
He must be taken down.
He must be taken down.
Relative to other bowlers. Someone's got to be taken down, and he must be taken down.
Must be taken down.
Yes.
Lay him down into the wreath. So 35 of 20, 5 wickets in hand, and the next basically 2, there's like 3,
well,
4 balls.
Just before that, sorry to interrupt. Like, Tamar Mills bowls the 14th over. He gets pumped for 6, he gets tickled for 4, and then he goes off with a quad.
Yeah, he's got a quad.
And he's normally their last, he bowls their death over.
Right.
So obviously, genius from Morgan, just get it done in 19.
Yeah, exactly.
Not even need it.
Not even need it, yeah.
And then you're just setting it up from there, sorry.
So 35 of 20, 5 wickets in hand, and then Hasaranga gets out, excellently caught by Roy and Billings.
Yeah.
Mate, have you noticed that Billings is on the field a lot for a guy who hasn't played? He's on the field a lot. Do you know what that's about?
I think they just have a couple of injuries, and I don't think they've got any form in relation to that.
When Steve Smith was out brilliantly caught by Wokes, and the first person to congratulate him was Billings, and that was like the second over of the game. And I'm like, what's Billings doing on already?
Yeah, well, Moeen sort of just, let him bowl. Yeah, Moeen just needed a spell, and, you know.
Hey, friend of the show, Bilbo. Yeah, good luck to him. He can bring the trophy home and show it to us when we see him next. And then the first ball of Jordan's next over, that's 2 balls later. And then Butler just can't miss, just brilliantly runs out Shanaka. And then that just wins the game.
Milan takes one right on the boundary.
Yeah, and then the next ball. So then it was like 30 off 13. Then Jordan's last ball of his over was basically going to go for 6, 10 metres either side. Would have been 24 off 12. He's still in the game. Goes straight to Milan, takes a good catch.
Yeah, inches in it.
Inches.
With all of those dismissals. But that's what happens when you're a good team. Like, it's not just a coincidence. It all goes England's way. That's you earn those edges, and they win the match. So last one, he goes, I just wanted to discuss like the win toss win match thing. It's becoming a bit of a cliche and a pretty tired idea, but it's, cliches are there because they usually have a bit of truth to them. I mean, I thought this game was closer than the skill of both sides, largely due to the toss, and it does. I mean, I am never, ever going to support England in any way, shape or form, particularly when it comes to tournaments. And I hope they respect that. Yeah. But a toss...
I'm sure they'll respect you for it. Yeah.
Well, they do the same.
Mate, can I just say, like, on fandom in this game, I saw the fucking weirdest thing. There was like 2 Sri Lankan blokes in Sri Lankan white ball shirt. They were either the one-day kit or might have been the T20 kit, holding up the St. George's Cross flag, waving it after... I think Roy hit a 4 in the first over, and then like it had West Ham on it on the St. George's Cross flag. The 2 Sri Lankan blokes waving a flag with West Ham on it, celebrating that England had scored whilst wearing Sri Lankan tops.
That's cricket's half and half.
That is cricket's half and half scarf.
Yeah.
What the fuck was that?
Not for me.
Pick a team, drop some battle lines, and stick to it at all costs.
No doubt those people are far more actualised and spiritually enlightened
they probably
than you and I.
Had a really good day out.
Totally, but not for me.
Not for me, that stuff.
Obviously, it's not win, toss, win match because that didn't happen today.
Right,
but I think we can conclude that there's a pretty decent toss bias.
Yes.
The ball just wasn't bouncing in that.
Sharjah's grim. It's grim.
But I have to say, like, at this point now, I'd be very surprised if England aren't in the final at least.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking to journos who are already making plans to go to Dubai.
Yeah.
I don't think any Australian journos are doing that. if you follow,
you going to Dubai? What for?
Yeah, exactly. It's right. It's good. Yeah. Do you have beers in the hotel? Or,
tanning with Stoinis. So what's
exactly.
Yeah.
Anything on the toss bias?
I was just thinking about, you remember the first game where the West Indies lost to England? They got bowled out for 55 or something like that. Yeah. You know, at the time we were like, that was a disgraceful batting performance or pitiful or whatever the word was. But that's how you play in T20 cricket, and that's how you end up scoring 180 stuff. But like in the we didn't know what was going to come since then. But
maybe England learned from that. You know, against the West Indies. West Indies took the let's just pound sixes all the way down to 11. Yeah, they were playing that game.
There's been enough information since then that like you just have to kind of still go at like 5 or 6 in the power play.
You just need Josh Butler.
Yes, have one guy who's just got the absolute hot hand who's having a moment.
That's all you've got to do. Hashtag ASKTGC. He goes, all thanks to Acco. Paz Basra writes in, hashtag ASKTGC, Bondi Bargies.
Nice.
Now that India can't be dad, is it only fair that New Zealand do win this World Cup and be the patriarch we need?
Nice.
Test champs, unlucky in the ODI World Cup, etc. England and Aussies don't have the test form to be dad.
No.
Pakistan are an absent father turning up with a toy and treats once a year. Then we don't see them for months whilst they are philandering, not Vernon, and investing in crypto, losing your inheritance. Therefore, New Zealand become our cricketing overlords. Thoughts?
I'm just going to go through a couple of teams. Now, Pakistan, to me, feels more like a drunken uncle sort of at Christmas who posts some questionable shit on Facebook about research he's been doing online. South Africa sort of has poker nights with the boys, and you wake up one night and you come into the kitchen. You're not quite sure what you've seen because he's 6 years old, but you know it doesn't feel right, and then he says, don't tell your mother about this. England is very much an ask your mother kind of dad. You know, still reckons he could have gone pro if it hadn't been for his bad knee. His best years are behind him, and he'll take that out on you, but most concerningly himself. That's a Brexit joke. West Indies can be your best friend, but not your dad. New Zealand might be the guys at the party who you like. If you're asked next day, New Zealand at that party? I'm not really sure. But they're the dads that we need.
They're stepdads.
And we don't know how good we've got it. I mean, we might think the grass is greener, and it often is, especially the Basin Reserve. But we don't appreciate the stability and overall safety a New Zealand-led world gives us. Leadership, connection and respect for Indigenous communities, good place to film Hobbit movies, and they've managed to name a rugby team called the All Blacks, and it's not a racial thing. So they've got it all.
I still never respect New Zealand publicly.
New Zealand at that party? I don't remember.
I feel like just in that question too, Paz, we're sort of being invited to sledge Pakistan. And
are we?
Pakistan basically, you know, toy and treats, and then they ruin your inheritance by investing in crypto.
Oh, I see,
you might say that is a good thing. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, crypto's got a lot of...
there's a lot going on. Yeah. If you want to sponsor us, crypto.
Yeah.
I don't get it, but...
yeah, Dogecoin.
Just on this channel, like, if a team's going shit, regardless of where they're from, we will sledge them. That's what will happen, including our own country, I would hope. Pakistan have the hot hand. They're wild and free at the moment.
The hot hand.
Not going to sledge them. But they'll fuck up. And I promise, when they do, it's fucking coming.
We'll have a chat.
Just like it is for everybody.
Yeah.
India's fucked.
India could have a worse tournament than Australia, and that's saying something.
Yeah. A big old game for India. They need to win 5-0, which in turn invites them to lose.
Yeah.
Fuck, what happens if they lose to Afghanistan? Jesus.
If I'm Scotland, I'm licking my lips. All right, that'll do. Thanks so much as ever for joining TGC. We'll see you guys on Thursday for the morning after game after India-Afghanistan, and then the live stream on Thursday night for Australia and Bangladesh, the watch-along. So join us there. Lock it right here on TGC's YouTube. See you guys next time.